Hi, my name is Frankie. Thank you for listening to my mom. I never listen.
Welcome to Nothing But Net, the 4-year starting point guard for the Dayton Flyers, Ivy Wolf. Ivy, who's been on our podcast before and a part of some of the content we've created in the A10 in the past. Ivy, so good to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
Tell me how it's going. Like, break it down a little bit. This is your senior year. We're in February. We got a little sense of urgency about what we're doing. How's it
Yeah,
going?
it's going well. We just came off a bye week, so we had last Wednesday off, which was, I think, good timing for us. We just bodies and mindsets and everything. It was a good reset for us. But we have our school day game at home on Wednesday, so that'll be a lot of energy. It's sold out, so there's gonna be a lot of kids there. But yeah, like you said, it is February. I feel like this is a time where a lot of people's bodies catch up with them, and we've been doing this for a really long time, and we're nearing the end, but that's kind of when teams start to separate. So that's the biggest thing that we've been talking about in practice is, there's a run in the middle right now where a lot of teams are tied for this, tied for that, and it can be anyone's ball game, any night. So we're just kind of focusing on us and what can we do to keep moving up the ranks and set ourselves up for tournament nicely.
Ivy, you've been at Dayton 4 years. It's an anomaly in college basketball. You've watched the landscape change. You've been a part of the change. You could probably write a book about what it was like your freshman year and what it's like in your senior year.
Well, I was at Miami my freshman year.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. All right.
You're good.
BMAC, we'll just have to edit that out. Okay. All right. 3, 2. Ivy, you have had a brilliant career at Dayton. You've watched the landscape change through your time as an athlete. What do you think is the greatest changes that you've experienced with your team?
Yeah, I mean, the landscape is crazy now with the transfer portal and everything like that. We had 8 new girls this year, 5 transfers, 3 freshmen. So, obviously with that is gonna come a lot of learning curves and, you have to get to know them off the court, you have to get to know them on the court. But honestly, this past year and, like, this group of girls was one of the most fun I've ever had on a team. And in the summer, I think we did a great job just building that chemistry with each other, and we got super close, and now it's definitely showing as we get to the end of season and injuries or hardships start to come. We handle it with maturity and we stay together through it,
Yeah.
and it really shows. So yeah, it's definitely unique, but this group of girls is fun, and once we are able to kind of figure out everyone's roles and hit the ground running, that's when things got super fun and exciting for us, and so we just have to finish the year strong.
So I want to ask you about bringing in 8 new players because this is where we are in college basketball for sure. Every year the roster seems to change or juggle, things shifting around, moving around. When you have 8 new players coming in, and they're not all freshmen, so they're experienced players that have played at other places. Your role as a leader on the team, what have you learned from it? Because that's a lot to navigate.
Yeah, it was, and, I transferred once, so I know what they're going through, and coming into like, when I transferred to Dayton, I had to come in and, immediately be the point guard, and it was like, well, 3 weeks ago, I was just at a whole 'nother school with a whole 'nother team, so it's definitely, a quick transition, but I think just having so many people from a lot of different areas. I mean, we had Ricky Harris from Ohio State who had a ton of experience, and then we had some people, like Jada Johnson, who's never played a college game before, but has a ton of skill. So we had a lot of different people coming from different areas. So I think just kind of putting all of our heads together and, knowing what they need and how they succeed on the floor and where we can put them to be their best was the biggest thing for us. But I do think as a leader on this team, the people who came in made my job really easy. Nicole Stevens came in as point guard, and I'm not like the most loud person on the floor, so she kind of got me out of my shell in terms of talking and
Mhm.
things like that. So it was nice knowing that the people coming in had my back, and it wasn't just me having to be a leader. Everyone kind of stepped into their roles, and it's been fun.
I don't want this to sound like a soft question. So I don't want this to be like some Pollyanna. We all know how the landscape in college basketball has changed. But what is pure in sport is playing on a team and learning how to be a part of a team. And learning how to be a part of a team is something that everyone needs to understand, because for the rest of your life, you're going to be on some sort of team.
Mhm.
It could be a family team, it could be an athletic team, could be your workplace, could be your neighborhood. You're always going to need other people to play roles in your life as a part of your own team. Um, when you when you come to college and you're a multi-sport athlete like you were, playing multiple sports in high school and playing on different teams with different groups of players, what do you think are the most important leadership qualities that you've gained during your time in college that you know will help you moving forward?
Yeah, that could be a lengthy response. I've learned so much, but I came from a very small town of like, I graduated with 60 people. I knew everybody, knew where they lived. So even just kind of the difference in my high school and just going to college, you're around so many different people, and being in college athletics, it's really just being in the world of people. You have to learn everyone's backgrounds. I mean, some people don't come from the same background as you, and they have different opinions, different interests, and so getting to know them on a personal level has been the biggest thing for me, and I think that's what helps, because then you're able to call them out in practice. You're able to know
Yes.
how or what they need when they're struggling in practice or in a game.
Well, they
Uh,
know you care, right? They know you care because you've invested the time to build a relationship with them. That's
yeah,
teamwork.
absolutely, absolutely. So,
Well, if
you
you
know
had 60 kids in your graduating class and you're one of 6 siblings in this little small town, did you guys just own the town? Like, did you have a key to every gym? Um, did every time you went to the store, people knew who you were? I mean, how does that work in a small town like that when you have a big family?
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows everybody. We always say, like, I have a little sister, she'll be 14, and, when she was growing up, it was always like, "Well, it takes a village to raise kids in Minster," 'cause, we'll see her riding her bike down the street and, everyone's just kinda checking in to make sure she's okay.
Yeah.
So, it takes a village to raise kids there. Everyone knows everyone, and they're super supportive. I mean, I've felt so much support from my hometown throughout these 4 years. So, um, yeah, I mean, it's fun. It's fun to
Yeah.
know that everyone is supporting you through sports, and have a lot of lifelong friendships from.
Well, you got a family of ballers. Your dad played at Dayton, played football and baseball. Your mom played basketball at Ohio Northern. Uh, I mean, it's kind of cool when your parents have that D1 experience, or D3 for your mom at Ohio Northern. What what uh what did you learn from your parents, and what would you say about watching your parents in the stands? Because I know you probably, like every player, knows exactly where their parents are sitting. I used to be able to hear my dad clear his throat, like, I mean, over a crowd, I could hear it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they taught me so much. Nothing's handed to you. I mean, we are super blessed with the genetics and things like that from my parents, but, they raised us hard. Like, it was a hard household to grow up in because they were super tough on us. It was tough love, but I think that's, a big testament as to all the accomplishments that me and my siblings have had, and, um, growing up, my mom was my coach for a lot of the years. I mean, like, before junior high, she was our coach, and then she was the freshman coach when I was in high school, so she wasn't directly mine, but she was in the gym every day, on the bench at games, so definitely knew her voice and where it was coming from, and my dad, he did a good job. He would yell every now and then, and you knew exactly what his voice was, but, no, he was really supportive, and obviously, he would talk to me after the games. I think he's only missed, like, maybe 2 or 3 of my college games ever, home or
Wow, that's
away.
awesome.
He's been to every single one, so, the support from him is amazing, but yeah.
When people call you a coach's kid, because that's what you are, what do you think that means?
I mean, I take that as a compliment. I think it can be seen as a bad thing at times, but I definitely take that as a compliment. It means you're around the sport and you had the keys to the gym and you were able to get in whenever. So, yeah, I definitely was a coach's kid, and it helped me with my IQ. And when girls are bigger, faster, stronger than you, knowing where to put the ball or what to do with it is definitely beneficial in those cases.
I always have great sort of compassion and empathy for seniors as they start to wind it down, and you're starting to wind it down, right? You have a lot of basketball left in front of you, but it also is coming to a close. There's an end in sight. Um, how do you think your parents are going to handle it?
I think we'll all be super sad. I mean, it's a huge chapter coming to a close. I started basketball in 2nd grade and spent countless hours and miles on the road with my mom going to AAU tournaments, and it was just kind of a bonding factor for us for the longest time. So, and then obviously my dad spent a ton of time watching my games. So, it'll be sad. I'm trying to prepare myself mentally while also still
Yeah.
focusing on the end of season and, thinking about what comes next. So it's definitely a weird position to be in, but I've also been able to do a lot of reflecting on kind of my career and just been super grateful for everything I've been able to accomplish and experience and all the people I've met and lessons I've learned. And yeah, definitely fills me with a lot of emotion.
What is next?
Yeah, so I want to get into medical sales. Right now, I've kind of been talking with like Arthrex or Stryker, some companies like that. Pretty ambitious. I've been in Ohio my whole life, so I think maybe kind of getting away and experience something new would be exciting. So right now, it's kind of in process of what's next, but regardless, I'm excited.
Well, Ivy, we know that somebody's going to hire you because all the things that you've experienced, what you've done, and how hard you've worked to build your career is definitely going to manifest itself in a sales role somewhere. I
Yeah.
believe that. So we want to wish you the best of luck. We appreciate you being on Nothing But Net with us again. Ivy Wolf, the senior at Dayton, who's in the thick of the A10 race. Ivy, thanks for being with us.
Yep. Thank you.